It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Brew by Numbers, and this is their number 42 Grapefruit Double Dry Hopped Pale Ale. It's in a 440ml can. It's been brewed with Simcoe, Amarillo and Mosaic. It is ABV 5.5% ABV, quite a high one. It was £3 a can in Sainsbury's, relatively new beer. I'm not going to say it's brand new because my Sainsbury's is 9 miles away and I don't generally go there too often, so it might have been in Sainsbury's a little while. Probably I go every other month, so it's at least maybe 2 months old. It might be brand new. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Whoa, look at that. But you've seen the title of the video. The title of the video is I hope Brew by Numbers are okay. And the reason I mention that is because when I did the unboxing video for these beers, all the Sainsbury's beers that I bought, I had a few comments in the comments box from people saying actually Brew by Numbers have just entered administration and they're looking for a buyer. And it makes me feel very sad actually, because whenever I've had a Brew by Numbers beer, it's been very, very good. But we've been hit hard in 2023 with breweries. We'll talk about all that in a moment. Let's get to this beer first and foremost. We got a 3-finger white head, slow moving carbonation. It's a very dull looking beer actually. It's very dull. It's not amber, it's not brown, it just looks kind of hazy and slightly golden coloured, I would call it. I've had 1 or 2 beers that have looked like that this year. Slightly kind of alarming. I had one of the Lidl beers from Harbour. It was a Harbour Pale Ale in Lidl about 3 months ago. And it looked very much like this, and I convinced myself that the damn beer changed colour. It obviously hadn't. So not the best look to the beer. Let's get the aroma. Very grapefruity. Very, very grapefruity, very, very spicy and dry at the same time. But this is a synthetic grapefruit. This seems to be like a grapefruit concentrate rather than actual grapefruit in the beer. I've not read the side of the can. Maybe it has natural grapefruit in. Maybe it's the reason why it's this colour. But it's very kind of a perfume, full-on concentrated grapefruit aroma to the beer. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Not too bad. Not too bad. I was kind of expecting almost like that Harbour beer to be coming back at me from Lidl. That was even though it's a completely different brewery, but that was a terrible tasting beer. I was kind of thinking, oh my goodness me, this looks the same. What is it going to taste like? But it's actually pretty good. Carbonation hisses and fizzes on the tongue, pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth, releases more of that flavour. It's quite juicy, it's quite refreshing, slightly spicy and peppery, a little bit of bitterness on the back end, a little bit of sweetness to begin with, so the beer's got quite a nice balance between that kind of sweetness over there and that bitterness over there. Yeah, pretty decent actually. Pretty decent. They've obviously used some kind of grapefruit flavour here. We'll have a look at the can in a moment, but I just wanted to touch on this thing with brew by numbers. I started drinking brew by... Now, let me go back to the beginning, shall I? Well, the beginning was the 1970s when they really went after the craft beer. Sierra Nevada with their Pale Ale, Sam Adams with their Boston Lager. They were the two kind of pioneer breweries, and of course Anchor Brewing Company in the California region of America. The craft beer boom kind of built slowly. It really ramped up 2010, I would say. From then on, 2010, 2011, 2012, there were literally breweries opening up all over the world, left, right and centre. There really was. It was a massive kind of boom in craft beer, and unfortunately, fast forward to 2023, we got this kind of worldwide inflationary thing going on, and we've just had countless. We've had the whole situation with 2020 in the UK. We've had Brexit. It's just been year after year after year of bad news. We've not had any kind of real run in where people feel free to spend their money, and there's been a massive consequence. 2023 has been the year of, unfortunately, some of the breweries that have been going into either administration or going bust, just closing their doors. It's been incredible, and it's very sad to hear. It was just the other day that Anchor Brewing Company, just gone in America. Unbelievable. They've been around for over 100 years. Gone. In the UK, we've had many breweries go into the wall, and the latest one, unfortunately, seems to be Brew by Numbers. Now, my kind of, I can only talk about Brew by Numbers in a personal point of view, where I bought their beers, I've drank their beers, I like their beers. They're very, very good beers. And I think they're worth saving. I really do. I think they're worth saving as a company. They've got a great format. All their beers are numbered. They brew by numbers, literally. Once upon a time, Brewdog invested in this company. They saw so much potential in Brew by Numbers that Brewdog invested in Brew by Numbers. I'm not sure what's happened with that going forward, whether Brewdog has still got shares in that. But yeah, they're a company that really do still need to be around. They're a great brewery. Let's have a look then. 42 Grapefruit Infused Double Dry Hop Pale Ale is the perfect blend of tangy citrus, fruity New World hops, London ale yeast and locally sourced malt. A jamboree of flavours, brewed in Greenwich. This naturally hazy beer is juicy and sessionable with a balanced bitterness that will keep you coming back for more. Ingredients: water, barley, oats, hops, yeast and grapefruit. Just grapefruit, it says. Whether they're allowed to call grapefruit concentrate grapefruits, I'd like to know. Maybe somebody at the breweries can comment below whether they were throwing grapefruits in the actual beer. Maybe it's why it's this colour. I'm going to rate it. I'm not a massive fan of the colour. I think many people will pour this beer out and go, oh my goodness me, look at the colour on that. But there's so many times on this channel where I've told everybody here, don't drink with your eyes, drink with this. And if you close your eyes and drink this beer, it's not too bad. Yes, some people will argue that you can produce beers with a grapefruit flavour from hops. And I firmly believe that that's what should be done. But then there's other people who are like, why not experiment and throw some grapefruit in there? And that's, I can only rate this beer on what it is, and that's a grapefruit pale ale. And for a grapefruit pale ale, it's pretty tidy. It's a 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.